Qingji are courier spirits who can only make one delivery in their lifetime. Though they can travel 1,000 miles in a day, they pay with their lives and can only be used once. They're small in stature with innocent personalities, and need someone on shore to call their name before they can transform from nothingness into human form. In return, Qingji will deliver messages across vast distances for their master. However, these naive little spirits don't realize that each delivery drains away their entire life force. But human sorcerers exploit Qingji's abilities for profit. One man lied to people, claiming he could use magic to instantly deliver letters to recipients. This made him quite wealthy, and before long, his backyard was filled with the graves of many Qingji. Whether it was karma or not, the man died young, and when his son inherited the business, he turned out to be completely different from his father. He refused to harm these kind little spirits and instead treated them as his most loyal friends. When the young man came to the lake, he remembered his father's words. Mirror Flower Lake was rich with spiritual energy and the most likely place for spirits to be born. Qingji came from this very place. If you ever meet one, you must keep it by your side. The young man decided to give it a shot and shouted toward the lake. Suddenly, water erupted from the lake, and a Qingji was born. To repay the young man, Qingji offered to deliver a letter for him, but knowing Qingji's fate, the young man said he didn't need it right now. Qingji said, "Maybe you will someday. It's okay, I'll wait for you." From then on, the young man often visited Qingji. They watched stars together and laughed heartily, quickly becoming best friends who could talk about anything. The young man even told Qingji about the girl he loved. But suddenly one day, the girl had to move far away with her family. The girl couldn't bear to leave the young man. Holding his hand, she said, "Anytime you call for me, no matter how far, I'll come back." Though the young man was heartbroken, he still had to say goodbye to the girl. Qingji couldn't understand why the young man didn't ask the girl to stay. It turned out his father had made too many enemies before he died, and his enemies had cursed him to die before his 14th birthday. The young man didn't want to ruin the girl's youth because of himself, so he chose to let her go. That winter, on December 12th, the young man's condition worsened. On his deathbed, he fantasized about the day he said goodbye to Xiaoyu, wishing he had been braver and told her how he felt. If only he had Qingji back then, maybe it could have helped bring the girl back, but asking Qingji to deliver a message would mean its death. The young man was in agony. In the end, he found peace, thinking that Qingji was probably too silly to remember their promise anyway, but he never imagined that Qingji would wait for him for decades. The once beautiful Mirror Flower Lake had turned into a stinking ditch, and Qingji, poisoned by the toxic water, still waited for the young man. It wanted to deliver a letter for the young man, wanted to see him marry Xiaoyu and have children. Until one day, Qingji found the young man's diary and learned the truth that he had died long ago. It cried in anguish, finally understanding the young man's true feelings. Buried memories flooded back like a tide. The young man had once hoped it would go see the outside world, so Qingji got into a small cart, carrying the young man's wishes, and set off to explore the world.